Hello and welcome back. In the previous tutorial set we added into our BPEL process this invoke and assignment, so now we are calling this database adapter that is serving as a mockup for this partner management system. So far we haven't done anything new, so all of these topics have been covered in the first tutorial set, so now we are ready to start really the actual SOA Suite tutorial 2 with some new components. And what we want to do is that we want to first use a rule sensing to externalize this checking of incoming data, whether the data capture has worked correctly. So the basic idea with rule sensing is that you don't mingle with your orchestration logic with this type of a detailed rules, because BPEL is not the kind of a right language for having long if-then like kind of a logic at all. So you could either use a rule sensing or encapsulate that into a Java service or so on. But rule sensing is one option of kind of externalizing decisions and making it very easy to change them without them touching any other part of your process logic. And you could use the same rules from other sources, so you could use the same kind of a rule capture, for example, from Java applications if you later want to do that one. So that's the basic idea, so let's get started. So the first thing is to drag and drop this business rules service sensing to the canvas. It starts a wizard, so let's call this, for example, invoke validation rules. Then we need to create input and output parameters. And we want to give this the invoice message, and then we want this business rule sensing to validate or look at some specific fields of that invoke operation and detect if the data capture has worked correctly or not, and then it should populate the validation data part of this same invoke message with these fields like validated and validation text. So we want to have the same message to be returned with some added data. And now there's a wizard which does some magic in the behind, and now we have a business rule, empty business rule component here. We can wire it from our BPEL process, so we can later call it, and then we can double click on that one and we can start creating our rules. There are two ways to create rules. One is this type of a tabular thing. You can create a table with results, which is called decision table, and the other one is if-then type rules. So these if-then rules are sometimes easier, so let's say, well, both of them are very easy, but I wanted to create if-then rules for this thing. So let's get started. I just clicked on that one. It opens this wizard where I can start creating my rules. So let's add first test. We want to be looking, for example, at this incoming invoice. Let's, for example, check that the IBAN field is not null. If it is null, then we return an error. Or let's say that if the Swift is null, or the account number is null, or for example if the contract ID is null, what else? I mean, you are free to add as many rules as you want, so let's check some other things. So let's do some testings if the For example, this, let's check something else. The charged amount is null, that's probably also kind of a little bit strange thing. Let's add something else. Invoice data. Well, typically if the invoice number is null, I mean, you could add stuff like that. Or also if the, let's check what else is there. What did I add? Charged amount. Let's check what is else is. Actually, I think I now noticed an error here, because we don't have anywhere this remaining value. We can't actually check for that one. But no worries, I think we can add it. Yes. I think I have made a mistake here, because this, I should also make a check that this the charged amount is smaller than the remaining value. That's one of the key tests to be done. So, but okay, let's add some other tests here. So. Alright. Well, invoice currency should perhaps not be null and so on. I mean, if any of these null is null, then most likely the data capture has not worked. Then we add an action here, and that action is it's a modify. So we want to modify this incoming field, and we want to modify this validation data, and we want to set here, for example, value is validated is false. Validation text is incoming one or more incoming fields is null. Let's add here this. Alright. So now we have added some tests here, but I think we still need to make some changes, because I actually forgot when we originally started developing this. I think I should have added this remaining value to this XML schema. So let's close this one and let's fix it. So I think it's not too bad to fix actually. So I think we have this invoke XML schema, we have this validation data type, we have this invoice, but we actually need to add here this contract data. So I will make a quick fix. So I will add a new element here. So let's call this remaining value. Remaining value in contract. And this is actually coming from the database. So let's make this one I think I have been using integers. That's perhaps not the right selection, but let's anyway keep that one. So that's an integer. And by default, I think automatically this one is using it, but I need to do an operation here so that it's actually gets populated also here. I think there is a, or is it here? No, I think I need to go here. Okay, this is the selection. So reload facts based on modified schemas. So this one kind of regenerates the things. So I can now go back to my rule set here. And I should have a visibility into this. Yes. So I can basically check that the remaining value in contract is larger than or equal than this charged amount. So yes. And then in the BPEL process, I need to later populate this feed. So basically, as the next step, I think I can already do it. So here, so actually, now we are here calling this partner management service. We are getting back this, one of the parameters getting back is this this charge amount. And when we later modify this BPEL process, we need to just make sure that we copy that field into the message before we call this business fluency. So not null. All right. So that's how you create if then else rules. So it's fairly simple, as you have seen. So in the next tutorial set, there's also a way to automatically test these kind of rules inside the rule sensing. So in the next tutorial we will create a test function and test this totally kind of separate from rest of the composite service. But thanks for watching and see you in the next tutorial.